2 games in 24 hours with a 7-hour bus ride in between didn't slow down the red-hot Saskatchewan Rush as Frank Chiliano made 72 saves in back-to-back games. Vancouver got a much-needed win in Vegas as Aiden Walsh was stellar, making 34 saves. Game 2 of NLL Friday Nights on TSN doubleheader is live from Vancouver. The rains have arrived on the West Coast, which means spring is right around the corner. It also means the NLL playoffs aren't too far away either. And for the Saskatchewan Rush and Vancouver Warriors, that's the main focus as we approach the March to May. At 8-2 and winners of their last 4, the Rush are the hottest team in the NLL right now, sitting at second and right on the heels of the Bandits. Vancouver sits at 8th at 5-5, but a win tonight could vault them up the NLL's unified standings. Welcome inside the booth for the Castor Countdown to Face-Off. His name is Brad Challoner. My name's Teddy Jenner. We'll chat with Chantel Chan down the floor momentarily. But Brad, a great game between these two teams, but you know, some interesting news for the Vancouver Warriors.
Yeah, a bit of a flu bug going around the Vancouver Warriors. Some players were questionable. Goaltender Aiden Walsh was questionable, but he will start tonight. Vancouver's got a bye week after this, so some time to rest the bodies to put everything on the line here tonight at Rogers Arena.
We mentioned the win down in Vegas for the Warriors. A big part of that was young Marcus Claridge, who continues to have a career year.
Yeah, he has arrived, folks. He's gone to the school of Keegan Ball, Vancouver's offensive superstar. He's been mentored by Ball. He's got that baller mentality, but he's paid his dues the right way from the practice roster, and then you get into lineup and you start doing some damage. He scored in every game so far this season, and a career night last week against Las Vegas. From the outside, from the inside, he's an ankle breaker, and he's adding some elite depth to this Vancouver Warriors offense.
He's been absolutely fantastic, and there's a look at the Warriors offense. These guys have combined for 71 of Vancouver's 104 goals. They can attack at nauseum from all sides of the floor, and Marcus Claridge is on the floor with Chantel Chan.
Marcus, you had quite the breakout game last game. Tell me your thoughts on your performance and how hard you've worked to have a performance like that.
Yeah, it felt good. I mean, my teammates trusting me, giving me the ball. So it felt good. I got my opportunities and I tried to take advantage of it. And the most important part, we got the win.
Now, it seems like you guys are getting a lot of depth scoring. There's 5 guys on the squad that have 10 or more goals. How much confidence does that give you guys just to know that everyone can kind of get a ball into the net?
Yeah, like I said, we all trust each other, and we sort of say, like, it doesn't matter who gets it as long as we get it. So that's sort of like, we want everybody just to take their chances as much as they can, and that's all we need to do.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Marcus Claridge, part of the offense by committee for Kurt Malosky's team. Now, when we switch to the other side of the floor and the Saskatchewan Rush, back-to-back games over the weekend, Brad, they put up 33 goals. Offense by committee is an understatement.
Yeah, and a team that's dressed 5 rookies this season, it's really important for the veterans to step up. Church, Shanks, and Keenan have understood that assignment, leading by example. They'll bang bodies and set picks. They'll dig for loose balls and get second and third possessions for this offense, and they'll bury when they need to. This trio combined for 39 points in the back-to-back wins last season, or last weekend, and when these guys elevate their game, all the other offensive players around them elevate their game.
It will be another time with a new lineup for the Saskatchewan Rush, but just look at the numbers from the three-headed monster last weekend in games against Calgary and Rochester. The captain, Ryan Keenan, is down on the floor with Chantel.
Ryan, there's a ton of veteran leadership on this squad. Yourself, Austin Shanks, and Robert Church. How important is it that the young guys can rely on you guys to make big plays and big moments?
Yeah, we trust each other. We trust the guys who are right and our left, and we rely on our vets, but our young guys have been unreal all year, so it's a full group effort, and we got to continue that tonight.
Now, you guys have had 2 really good offensive performances, and Vancouver has a very big, gritty defense. What are you expecting from them tonight?
Yeah, they'll play hard. They play physical, good team defense. We don't mind that. We love the grind. We embrace it, and similar to a Calgary last weekend that played tough and physical, and we're able to get what we wanted. So we just got to keep that hard work aspect of our game up.
Appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Captain Ryan Keenan and the Rush looking for their 5th straight win. There was a time these two teams would play 3 or 4 times a year. Tonight, the only regular season matchup, so expect a playoff-like atmosphere on the rug. It's Marvel Night. Who will be the hero and who will play the villain? TSN doubleheader in Vancouver. Former NLL Western foes now in the unified standings, trying to cement themselves into the playoffs. With more on tonight's matchup down between the benches with Chantel Chan.
Yeah, Vancouver head coach Kurt Malowski said that he liked the way his team played against Vegas, but that he believes they need to limit Saskatchewan's 2 and 3rd possessions because they're very good at that. They showed that in their last game against Rochester, also Calgary. And as for Saskatchewan, I talked to Jake Boudreau, and he feels like the team hasn't even played a complete game, even though they have scored 33 goals in their last 2 games. So he said he knows it's going to be a tight one tonight against Vancouver. Guys.
Thank you, Chantel. Scary to think if they haven't played their best lacrosse. There's a look at big Frank Chiliano. Missed a couple games. He and his wife welcomed their first daughter into the world. He's 8-4 all time here against Vancouver, and for some reason, he always plays big against the Warriors. At the other end, Aiden Walsh. There was some worry he might not be able to go, but he's going to battle through it all, and he's looking for his 6th win of the season.
He's been their catalyst since the midway point of last season when they went on that heater to finish the season and just missed the playoffs, and he's been great to start this season. We thought it would be a rough night if Aiden Walsh couldn't get the start, but we'll see if he can battle through. Bye week next weekend, so everything on the line here tonight, then take a rest. This is the end of a grueling stretch, Teddy. 8 games in 7 weeks, so they'll welcome the bye after this one.
We got a great matchup at the face-off dot tonight. Jake Naso slides back into the roster after missing the last couple of weeks. He'll go one-on-one head-to-head with Alex Stathakis at the dot. We'll keep an eye on this one all night long. We are underway in Vancouver. Game 2 of the NLL Friday Nights on TSN doubleheader. Stathakis will win the draw under some pressure from Naso. And he'll give it off to Keegan Ball, who had 9 points in that win against Vegas last weekend. Late man on is Charlin Beatties. He'll get it from Ball. Bit of a head of steam, kicks into the corner. Claridge low one rolls to the middle. Claridge plants his feet. That shot was deflected into the corner. And Boudreau just playing a little coy, trying to let the shot clock expire, and he's under some heavy duress from Kevin Crowley.
Good soak by Bobby Kidd III, the pride of Port Moody, to jump out on Marcus Claridge. Another weapon you have to start respecting in this lineup now as a breakout star, and they take away his first shot.
Zach Mans. Triolo will kick into the corner of the bright shoes of Brock Haley. Now Robert Church. Mans trying to get past Dilks, not an easy task. 5 on the shot clock, inside feed, can't connect with Triolo. And Walsh fought it there for a bit, but quickly up ahead to Dilks.
Saskatchewan playing with the same offensive 7 as they did in their win against Rochester on the weekend. First time back-to-back games you've seen the same O-unit roll out.
Ball and Peshko play 1-2. Back to Ball. Pass took a bit of deflection. Now he's under some heavy pressure from Connor McClellan. 5 on the shot clock for Ball. All the way around the horn, plants his feet. Again, another block shot in front. That's too early on here for this physical, fast rush defense.
Yeah, it's this 2 similar looks too, where the player's just sweeping the top and trying to get a late shot clock shot on. Both times they've been soaked. Vancouver's talked about it all week. If they want to be successful, you have to get inside of this fast-moving Saskatchewan defense.
Clark Walter had a hat trick in the game against Rochester on the weekend, where he didn't play on Friday, but used every bit of his game time on Saturday. Shanks inside. Church spinning, plants shot, goes 5-0 rebound. Walter, diving in front to make a save. I think that was Owen Grant. So give him a save stat. Keegan Ball, the offensive quarterback for this Vancouver Warriors. Now to Charlotte Beatties. Claridge working hard. Charlotte Beatties spins off Bobby Kidd. Charlotte Beatties couldn't get the shot off. 12 on the shot clock, still time here. Charlotte Beatties from behind, thought about the dunk. Will carry up, skip it to Ball. Late in the shot clock, got to get it off. He will, try to go short side, and never made it on target. And this will bounce towards the rush bench. Out of play.
It's going to be a fast-moving game. Vancouver is one of their keys takeaway, second and third possessions, as Chantel mentioned. That's how Saskatchewan got so many balls against Calgary and against Rochester. Just wears down a D. They're going to want to make stops and make the rush go one and done.
Triolo broke his stick, so he had to head off the floor. Keenan, outside shot from Shanks. Rebound, oh, just put it wide. Good look there for Haley, but couldn't find the net.
There's those second possessions we're talking about, a rebound, a good shot opportunity in tight, and now a second shot clock here for the Rush.
Haley near side, Clark Walter. Easily the best mustache in the league. Skips it to Haley, he'll go low to low, bouncer. Turned aside by the left leg of Walsh, and then Minsky throws Keenan to the ground right in front of the official. Let's get your officials in here tonight. Crew Chief Ian Garrison, along with Brandon Hess, Justin Kitashima, and Zach Jones will run the shot clock. Haley, far side to Church. Shanks and Haley gonna try to set a double seal for him. Skip it near side, man's pass knocked down. Minsky trying to battle, gotta be careful of the free hand. And loose ball will be picked up by his good buddy Ryan Dilks. Dilks to center and Keegan ball stick. 3.5 gone here. Still no score. Vancouver still without a shot on target. Ball cutting through the middle. There's a good shot from Lowen, and Chiliano had to be quick with the left glove to keep that one out.
That's their best look, and patented Riley Lowen up pick, cut through the middle. Good shot opportunity, and Chiliano says no.
Shanks thought about a shot from his wrong side, but he'll give it off to Mans on a bit of an island. Mans one-on-one against Lady. Mans getting off the turf by Lady, living off the cross-check as Kurt Malosky loves. Causes a turnover quickly up ahead to Stathakis. Now Keegan ball. 55 points to lead this Warriors club. Gets a pick from Crowley, circles the top, can't get his hands free. Good defense by Barnable. Charlotte Meades, can he get his hands free? He can score! There's the first of the night. And it comes off the stick of Adam Charlambides with his 17th of the season.
There's a manly take here from Charlambides. There's been nothing up top for Vancouver. It's been a bit of a wall for Saskatchewan to start this game. You got to take it down low. And he brushes off a Hasek. Gets a bit of a stick in the face from Bell, but tucks it in with the emphatic chirp to Bobby Kidd III, and the Warriors strike first.
Yeah, nice little short side twister there from Charlambides, who have a little Ric Flair woo right in front of Bobby Kidd. There's going to be a lot of emotion in this game. We've kind of talked about it. Remember last week when Calgary was here a couple weeks ago, we talked about just the amount of BC-born players on that Calgary team. There's what, 10 or 11 or so on the Saskatchewan Rush team, so you know they're going to be fired up to play in front of their home fans and friends. Triolo, shot off target, loose ball grabbed there by Walter. Late, Haley scores! Short side from Brock Haley. And this is the first time he's played against the team that drafted him and then traded him at last year's draft, and Haley gets the rush on the board.
Bit of a broken play as Clark Walter grabs a loose ball off the wall. Nice little dish over to Haley, who's wide open on the doorstep. And an elite threat like that is not going to miss all alone. Good hands in tight from Haley, makes it 1-1.
Averaging a goal a game with his 10th. Just didn't quite fit into Kurt Malosky's plans, but he's fit in quite nicely with the Saskatchewan Rush. 1-1 is your score. A slow start, but an entertaining one from Vancouver on TSN. On the territory of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh peoples, the NLL and TSN acknowledge all nations, Indigenous and non, who live, work, and play on this land, and who honor and celebrate this territory.
Good little feeling out process in the first 5 minutes and 9 seconds. Two teams that only play once this year. You can see how fast Saskatchewan plays on film, but until you're defending this offense or playing offense against this D, you don't really know what the tempo is going to be like. Vancouver wants to control the chaos tonight, not turn this one into a track meet.
Back to live action. Church goes far side to Mike Triolo. Now Zach Mans. See a heavy dose of Dilks and Minsky all night long. Step down shot from Shanks, turned aside by Walsh. Loose ball to Mans, fresh 30 for the Rush. Mason Triolo with a head of steam over the top. Mans couldn't handle it, but he'll pick it up off the sideboards. 20 on the shot clock. Good pick there from Keenan. Rolls to the middle. Shot blocked in front by Dilks. And Owen Grant's going to run out of this one.
Both teams with 2 shot blocks already. Who wants to be the soak squad tonight?
Here comes ball. Peshko came all the way across the floor to set a pick for him. Charlotte Beatties with a head of steam around the top, plants his feet, no one to pass to. Spins back strong side. One more Peshko from deep. Won't shoot it. Claridge will. Tried to get Frank Giuliano on his knees. He did. But as he often does, Frank takes up a whole lot of net, even if he is down on his knees.
Yeah, missed about a month of lacrosse, the birth of his baby girl, and then played 2 games in 24 hours last weekend with a bus ride in between. The big man looked great.
On a rebound at Haley, he's got 2. The shot from Triolo was kicked aside by Walsh, but on the doorstep again, Brock Haley's got a pair.
This one goes right into his stick. We focus a lot on the second and third possessions that Saskatchewan gets. This is just being in the right spot at the right time. And again, Haley wide open. No one taking that low man on 2 shifts in a row on Brock Haley, who's found himself with so much space. He's been healthy scratched once this season. You know, they've wanted to change up their lineup. Saskatchewan prides themselves on their depth, but when you fill the back of the net, it's so tough to take a guy like that out.
Scored 74 goals in his final year as junior with the Whitby Warriors, winning the Minto that same year, so he's got championship pedigree. And very familiar with the offense that Derek Keenan and Jimmy Quinlan run here for the Rush. There's an outside shot from Shanks, and that one looked like it fooled Aiden Walsh. And that's a quick 3-goal run by the Rush to take the lead.
Everything coming from the right side. So far to start this game. This time it's the veterans mucking it up. Robert Church sets a bit of a pick for Shanks to come around on, and Stoots through all that commotion just as he turns the corner, stings it to the short side. Quick 3-goal run by the Rush.
Shanks now 2 goals away from 150 in his career. With his first few years with the Halifax Thunderbirds, and then was able to sign as a free agent here. And there's a hit from behind. I think it might have been Lady who got run through, but a penalty coming up here to the Rush. So Vancouver will go 6-on-5. Aiden Walsh to the bench. Late man is Cormier. Claridge flashes through the middle. Inside feed, shot, save Giuliano, loose ball. Claridge will find it, fresh 30 Vancouver.
It's a good look. Vancouver's been one of the better teams 6-on-5 this season.
Claridge was open, didn't take the shot, took a hit from behind. Interior feed, it's Lowen. Right on cue, as Brad Chowder says, Vancouver very successful 6-on-5. And they get a much needed goal to get back to within 1.
So many plays in their arsenal when you play for a Kurt Malowski team. They dig into their bag of tricks. Cormier gets a really good look before this one. It's a very similar look where Lowen's able to get free. We got to look at the penalty. This is where it causes the 6-on-5 as Charbonneau's dumped. And then Riley Lowen just pinballs his way to the middle, bang, stings his short side on the quick stick.
Saskatchewan number 8 had a
3-2.
minor penalty for Ward and disallowed the goal stand.
So Ian Garrison just letting everybody know that the goal wiped out, or sorry, the penalty wiped out by the goal. So it's 3-2 with 7:16 to go. As Riley Lowen gets his 10th of the season.
Kurt Malowski's arguing that he wanted 5 minutes just based on where that check was placed on Charbonneau right in the boards in front of the bench.
Stathakis gets called for illegal procedure on the draw, going a little too early, so free possession here for Ryan Keenan in the Rush. Keenan outside shot, try to go 5-hole. Walsh makes the save. Loose ball picked up by Braden Lade.
Saskatchewan, a high volume team, already doubling Vancouver in shots, 10-5, getting balls on net, testing. And we'll see how bad this bug might actually be to get goaltender working early tonight.
Here's Claridge. Brings it back near side to Keegan Ball. One more Charlotte Beatties to Claridge. Little Harlem Globetrotter, Sweet Georgia Brown offense here from Vancouver. Charlotte Beatty's behind the net with 3 on the shot clock. And good defense there by Messenger, 8 on 8. And not easy to get a shot off when Big Mike Messenger's got a stick in your hands.
Yeah, he's really heating up the last couple weeks. His Messenger, a bit of a slow start to the season. He's got a couple goals now, and he's engaged.
And Subak's gonna take a penalty on Messengers. He was trying to gauge him into a little fisticuff, still going at Messenger. And now he's gonna get a penalty, and I don't know if this one will make Kurt Malonsky too happy. Subak definitely doesn't like it, but the Rush led to their first power play of the night. Here's the official call. 2-minute rough for Jackson Subak. Is the number 11 power play of the Rush will go to work.
That is a scary man right there, Jack Subak. He's just got these deadly eyes, and he gets into it with Messenger here. He was on a shift on offense just to muck it up. And when you see two mean customers like that, must have let Messenger know he's there, but a little bit too much from 37, and Vancouver's down a man.
Shot from Church. Walsh able to pounce on that loose ball in his crease. And now Vancouver will go to work shorthanded, where they've scored 5 shorthanded goals this year.
Leads the league in penalty minutes to Subak. He'll add another 2 to his resume.
Clarich on the far side, watched by Boudreau and Hossack. Cutting in the middle is Crowley. Inside, score, shorthanded marker. Their 6th of the season. And that's a big goal to tie us up at 3.
The big cat on the prowl, sometimes on a penalty kill. Get the ball to your solid, strongest offensive player and let him go to work. He spins off a check, fights his way to the inside. And Kevin Crowley ties it at 3 shorthanded.
Crowley passed the 900 career point mark a few weeks ago. Closing in on 400 career goals. That's a big one for the product from New Westminster. Stathakis, good job finding an outlet pass in Charlotte Beatty's as he was getting trapped into the corner. And so still a minute 5 left on the Subak penalty. What can Vancouver do here shorthanded? Clarich on the far side. Hossack will pick him up. Slips underneath, 5 in the shot clock, trying to find somebody in the middle. Now he'll take the shot, going low to high right in the elevator, but it didn't make it on target. And with under 5 to go, we will head to break. Pace is starting to pick up here. Frank Chiliano going save for save with Aiden Walsh at the other end. We are tied with under 5 to go from the West Coast.
The draft last fall, Vancouver sent Brock Haley, the number 5 pick in 2023, to Saskatchewan for the number 6 pick in 2024, which became Remo Shanato, and a 2nd-round pick in 25. Vancouver a bit of a depth on offense at the time, drafting Peshko. Ryan Sheridan will join this team shortly, but Brock Haley's been nothing but an offensive stud for the Rush since joining. He can fill the back of the net. You know, he's not a guy who's gonna crash and bang really yet in his career, as he's a young body still getting into it, but man, can he finish. He's got a deceptive release, and he's been nothing but an offensive weapon for the Rush since joining this team.
40 seconds remaining on the power play for the Rush as they go to work with Ryan Keenan running the point. 1-2 with Church. Clark Walters sets a seal. Church wide open, shot blocked by Dilks. So good at tracking the stick. Mans spins back. 5 on the shot clock. Keenan through a screen. Glove saving a beauty there from Aiden Walsh. Reset to 30. 15 on the minor to Subak. Only 1 good chance left here for the Rush. Keenan will take it. That one's blocked, this time by Cornwall. And it'll go to the Warriors bench.
Jeez, when your goalie's not feeling well, everyone putting their bodies on the line right now for the Vancouver Warriors.
So they're going to wait for Subak's penalty to expire and start coming into the floor before they start going to work. Here comes Subak. 0 for 1 are the Rush. 1 shot on the power play. Mans. That one skipped well wide. It'll go over and back. So Vancouver +1 on the special teams with a shorthanded marker from Crowley. And the game is tied at 3. Lowen into the corner, Charlene Beatties. Now Keegan Ball, Crowley flashes to the middle. Ball plants his feet, gives it back to Lowen. Check that, Charlene Beatties. Thought about it, backhand flip. Oh, and Lowen couldn't quite catch it, and then it's knocked. He has a stick knocked out of his hands. Now running his messenger. Good stick check there by Charlene Beatties. And the shot clock will end, but that could have been a clear breakaway for Messenger.
I love the frantic play there, the emphatic chop of the stick from Barnable. Messenger almost breaks free. Good hustle back from Charlene Beatties. Gritty, middle of the floor play.
Keenan comes over to set a pick for Mans, try to open him up. There's Shank, shot, saved by Walsh. Loose ball in front. And eventually be grabbed by Reed Bowering, who has become even better of a defender over the last couple of years under Kurt Malosky.
You know, he's having such a fantastic year, and unfortunately for Bowering, he's overshadowed by his own teammate, Nolan Grant, who could be up for Transition Player of the Year, a guy that we put Bowering in that conversation for years in a row. But he's quietly put together 5 goals, bunch of loose balls, caused turnovers, blocked shots, still doing everything.
Including 9 caused turnovers. McClellan will give it to Triolo off the bench. Short clock here for Saskatchewan with a 15 on it. Triolo, near side Mans. Walter sets the screen. Mans takes a shot right in the breadbasket of Aiden Walsh.
Mans trying to create his own shot. He's trying to step around Stathakis. He tried to go one-on-one with Lady earlier. You want to see another lefty like Ryan Keenan or Clark Walter, who does a lot of the picking for this offense. Help out Mans a little bit so he doesn't have to go one-on-one.
Charlene Beatties near side Peshko, and he'll get it right back. Little clear out. Charlene Beatties, 5 on the shot clock. Good defense by Mike Messenger. There's a shot, and Frank Giuliano makes that save, stepping out at the same time. Running is Adam J. Check that, Boudreau. He's gonna stay in play. Keenan. One-on-one with his defender, trying to roll underneath, gets through his first check, and they're gonna call warding off on Keenan. I thought they were gonna call Charbonneau on the hole.
And so did I. Gets away with one there, the one-handed lob.
Grant tried the Ryan Terefenko hidden ball trick, didn't work. Crowley. Roll back to Keegan Ball. Peshko working hard. Ball to Peshko. Bouncer through a screen. Hit the end boards. We're in the final minute of the opening quarter. And then Peshko tried to throw it to the corner. It was picked off nicely by Haas. Mans with a head of steam on Dokes, and just the slash check is so spot on every time from Ryan Dokes.
Defensive Player of the Year, once with the Rush, once with the Warriors, and still one of the most effective caused turnover players in the National Lacrosse League.
Came into the game tied for 3rd in caused turnovers. He's already got a couple here tonight. Claridge, little dipsy-do. Charlene Beatties off the bench, thought about it, lost it. And here comes the Rush running. Slow 3-on-2, Boudreau. Shanks with a heavy shot, that was blocked. And the quarter will come to an end. So a bit of a slow start, but once these teams start going, Brad, goals aplenty.
Yeah, a bit of smothering defense going on both sides. A lot of block shots, a lot of caused turnovers. And these two defenses have come in locked in and ready to play through 15.
Back and forth we go. When we come back, it'll be second quarter action. Hope you're enjoying yourself. It's game 2 of the NLL on TSN Friday night doubleheaders. Chantel, Brad, and myself will be back for more from Vancouver. Back inside the arena as we get you set for second quarter action. Jeff Cornwall scored a couple pretty big goals in his career, but there's a bigger story in Jeff's life. More on that here, Chantel.
Jeff Cornwall decided to come back home, and one of the reasons for that was because Him and his wife, April, had their first child, Raya. She's 9 months old, and Jeff says that's how he's been staying in shape from all the lifting and chasing. He said it's a humbling experience because you think you know your ways and have things figured out, and then you have a child that knows nothing, but they're the boss of you. He also said it's tough being on the road away from Raya, but he gives all the credit in the world to his wife, April, for holding it down. And baby Raya, at her first lacrosse game, watching her dad play for the first time. Jake Brad. Sorry, I said Jake Brad, I meant
You
Teddy
did.
Brad.
It's okay.
Yes.
We'll let it slide, Chantel. No worries. Saw young Raya in the stands there. Got a little high five from her. She's maybe not quite understanding what she's watching, but she's sure happy to be here watching Dad. Now live action. Owen Grant shot, put it wide. As he was looking for his 11th of the season.
Jeff Cornwall, she mentioned crawling and chasing Raya around while he's calling and chasing her. Ryan Keenan and the offensive righties, or sorry, Robert Church and the offensive righties for Saskatchewan tonight. Cornwall deep in his career, but still gets top assignments each and every night.
Here's Robert Church. He tried to find the far corner on Walsh. Left shoulder got enough of it. And now Subak will bring it up floor. He's got Shinato on the near side. Shinato, the rookie, will finally get it into the stick of Jonathan Peshko, another rookie. Now here's Keegan Ball. Sweeps, gives to Crowley on the rollback. In the middle, Lowen. Oh, and he just floated over top of the net. Good set play there by Vancouver. Now Claridge with a diving dunk. That hit the crossbar. Give him a reset. What a shot there by Claridge.
A big reset, couple good looks. Lowen, so slippery. Finds himself open so often, almost able to tuck that, and then Claridge gets the reset as Vancouver steals a page out of the rush book.
Ball off the Crowley pick. Gives it off to Claridge. Then Lowen's going to get called for a little aggressiveness on that pick. Now here's Keegan Bell. Keegan Bell, a late addition to the lineup tonight. He was originally a scratch, but we were told just before faceoff that Matt Iccioni couldn't go. So Bell gets into the lineup. Not as a goalie, as an actual player. He scored over the weekend. First of the season. Here's Haley, shot deflected. Shanks can't find it. Where is it? Still couldn't find it. And finally be grabbed there by Charbonneau. Up ahead to Grant. Grant trying to find someone to pass to off the bench. It's Peshko. Rocking the all-black stick. Now Charlotte Beatties. Doesn't want to plant his feet. We'll give it to Keegan Ball with 12 in the shot clock. Ball runs off the Crowley screen, gives it to Crowley. That shot was deflected nicely by the stick of Jake Boudreau, and then Crowley gets roughed up and dumped to the turf.
Man, these sticks are just in lanes, doing such a good job recovering there. Crowley was naked, wide open, and Boudreau does not so fast.
Near side Robert Church, watched by his good buddy Jeff Cornwall. Time and room for Keenan, that was blocked. And that was Reed Bowering, I think, who got a body on it. Late in the shot clock here for the rush. Triolo swims, shoots, scores! The big man with a silky swim. And the rush regain the lead.
Depth on offense, that's what Saskatchewan has been preaching all season long. As Triolo grabs the snorkel, grabs the fins, goes for a bit of a swim here over top of Stathakis, and then throws it to the far side, past Aiden Walsh. I'm watching Triolo Selly too, just such a big, powerful dude, so emphatic.
Put up 37 points last year. Did Triolo. Now that he's sort of become a full-time NLLer, he's starting to really mature into the player we all thought he could be when he first broke into the National Lacrosse League. Now, the rush trying to regain a two-goal lead. Keenan, watched by Charbonneau. Spins, flips it. Clark Walter gets to the middle, and he tried to go low, and that's a nice save by Aiden Walsh. And a timely one at that, quickly up ahead. Owen Grant, and they're gonna call Keegan Bell out of the bench early. Too many men called coming up, and the rush will head back to the power play.
Oh, that's a stinger. That's bread and butter for Vancouver in the second and fourth quarter. Spitting Keegan Ball out of that offensive gate, but a little too overzealous this time.
So Peyton Cormier will be the in-home for the Vancouver Warriors, so he'll serve the bench minor.
Gonna look at this bench change. You'll see Shinato, 88, on the left side of your screen, run into the bench. Well outside of the change box before Keegan Ball goes out of the front gate there.
0 for 1 on the power play are the Rush. Here they are with Ryan Keenan setting up on their second chance. Clark Walter to Zach Mans. Keenan sets the pick. Church inside to Clark Walter. What a play, what a finish. That didn't take long. Just 17 seconds on the power play, and that looked easy for the Saskatchewan Rush.
All the fakes for Clark Walter. Watch him wide open, cuts through the middle, 1, 2, 3 pump to get Aiden Walsh moving and dancing, and then tucks it down to the 5-hole, 5-3.
50 seconds between Rush goals to get this 2-goal lead back. Power play marker for Clark Walter as he gets his 10th of the season.
Scratched against Calgary, back in the lineup against Rochester on Saturday, scored a natural hat trick. I don't know how you take a guy like that out of the lineup, but it just shows how much depth Saskatchewan actually has.
Here comes Marcus Claridge and the Warriors trying to cut this lead in half. Shot by Crowley, sails it high. Loose ball, grabbed there by the Rush. They're gonna run. Hosk will slow the brakes. Give it off to Austin Shanks. Late man on is Walter. And he's wide open, slow rotation by Vancouver. And that shot just missed the far corner. Shanks to Walter, interior feed, pass picked off, and now it's Marcus Claridge on the back end. Can he outrun the D? Claridge, and he gets pulled to the ground. This is gonna be a penalty, and Kurt Malonsky instantly saying this should be a penalty shot. I don't think Claridge will be ruled on a clear-cut breakaway. Oh, they're gonna give it to him. They're gonna give a penalty shot to Marcus Claridge and the Warriors.
Take a look at the penalty first. So Claridge just trapped back for a shift on D, but causes the turnover, and then he's gone. He's off to the races, picks up 5th gear here, and then pried down by Bobby Kidd. There hasn't been a lot of penalty shots this season, Teddy, and a lot of them will come, you know, too many penalties late in the quarter or smothering a ball in a crease. You don't see a lot of clear-cut, tackle a guy on a breakaway, turn into a penalty shot, but you're gonna get one here.
There have been 8 penalty shots this season. Robert Church had one in the last game. Now Ian Garrison is just talking this one over with his partner on the floor. And they're just gonna make sure that the call is correct. Let's have another look. And usually, like, I didn't see a hand go up for too many men. So that's not what the penalty is. The obviously penalty is pulling a guy down a breakaway. Is that a clear-cut breakaway, Brad? Here's Ian Garrison.
There are 2 fouls on the play. The first is a bench minor to Saskatchewan for illegal substitution.
So they did call illegal substitution.
The player that entered the floor illegally interferes with the player on a breakaway. Therefore, we have an automatic penalty shot.
Good explanation from Ian Garrison there.
But there's more.
On the floor illegally, number 3 commits a violation, holding on the player on a breakaway, which creates a subsequent penalty shot.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
As a result of this play, Vancouver will have 2 penalty shots. The restart will be 5-on-5.
Unbelievable. I think I've maybe only seen this once.
I've never seen this before. 2 penalty shots in a row.
So Jimmy Quinlan will get an explanation, but it was a good job by Ian Garrison to break that down, Brad.
So he lays it out. So a penalty shot is, there's multiple ways you can get a penalty shot, but he broke down 2 there. So when there's too many men on the floor and that extra attacker interferes with the player on the breakaway, automatic penalty shot. Plus, he tackled him on a clear-cut breakaway, which is resulting in the 2 penalty shots. So I want to see if Keegan Ball, so any player can take a penalty shot for your team. Does Keegan Ball take 2, or do they give someone else a shot? This is fun.
All right, Keegan Ball is 0 for 1 on penalty shots this season for the Vancouver Warriors. Let's see what he's got in his bag of tricks. It's Ball versus Chiliano, round 1. Keegan swings wide left, inside jump move, saves Chiliano. And yeah, now good question. Do you go back to him, or do you put somebody else up? And it looks like Baller's gonna go again.
This is shades of World Junior shootouts from years ago where the players can just go and go and go. Keegan Ball is getting his own shootout here and a chance to pull within one.
Can Frank stop both of them? Gonna set his pipes in between the crease. What does Ball do this time? Who's got the advantage? Shooter or goalie? Ball's gonna take more direct line this time. Keegan Ball shoots, scores! Had Frankie waiting, but the two will split. And Vancouver gets one, and it's 5-4.
That was absolutely electric. What a wild couple minutes here. I like how he just keeps it clean this time. He did the crease dive and the patented Keegan Ball vertical fake the first time. This time just keeps it simple, a couple fakes, and then tucks it far side past the big man. One goal game, back-to-back penalty shots Friday night in Vancouver on TSN. Hope you're entertained. I'm entertained.
And for Keegan Ball, that's goal number 200 in his NLL career. So congratulations to Keegan Ball. And now Vancouver within one. Bodies battling on the far side. A couple heavy cross checks from Boudreau. Hossack had it for a second, and it's gonna fall to Owen Grant. And Ryan Dilks giving everybody on the defense fist bumps and hand pounds as they come off the floor after that loose ball battle.
Yeah, you definitely feel momentum swinging the way of the Warrior right now if they can get one here.
Ball tried to jump and dunk it, but Frank Giuliano did a great job in putting that back to the crossbar. Here come the rush. 9.5 to go here in the second quarter. Robert Church works off the Triolo screen. Skips it to Walter, now Zach Mans. Won't take the shot, give it to Church. 5 in the shot clock, Church rolls, loses footing. Loose ball grabbed there by Dilks, quickly up ahead. Owen Grant runs onto it. Owen Grant spins away. Grant, what a save by Giuliano. And he'll dive on it and get a whistle. And that'll take us to break. Are you not entertained? Keegan Ball gets 2 penalty shots. Giuliano stops one, but he can't stop them both. Keegan Ball and the offense.
Yeah, and just getting them to keep their foot on the gas pedal. Keegan Ball got the spark with the penalty shot goal, and you see Keegan Ball crested 500 points last weekend. The ultimate warrior. I kind of call them the first Warriors. When this franchise moved back to downtown Vancouver, Dan Richardson, the general manager at the time, it was his first phone call, was to Keegan Ball, who was a street free agent that no one wanted. Now here he is, 500 points, Mr. Penalty Shot. But the Warriors offense as a whole, Teddy, Saskatchewan plays such a fast, aggressive style of D. Warriors have to kind of match that pace, win a couple possessions. They want to control the pace this game. They don't want the rush to dictate how fast they want to play. They want to play Warrior lacrosse, which is possession first, use your 30s, and kind of slow it down.
Well, the big thing for both these teams, and you've mentioned a few times, Brad, is those second chance opportunities. That's when you can really wear a team down, keep your own defense and goaltender fresh at the same time. So Zach Mans will start with it deep in his own zone, as we are 9 minutes away from halftime, where Brad will let us know who he thinks the mid-season award winners are in the NLL. Here's Robert Church. Skips it to Mans, inside all alone. What a save this time on Clark Walter. Cutting the net is Church, and it's picked off by Ryan Dilks.
Sticks in lane so many times tonight. The Warriors have been dialed, the Rush have been dialed.
Crowley thought about taking a shot right from the Ford logo. Decides better of it. Now Peshko. Kick it to Ball. Lowen tried to set up an isolation for Claridge, but he was moving before he caught it. Hossack quickly up the floor. Gives it to Adam J, who fires it right back to the younger of the Hossack brothers. And then that pass doesn't connect with Zach Mann, so a little sloppy here from both teams. Shinato up the floor.
Teams will make you pay for your mistakes too. It's a free possession for Vancouver if they want to do something with.
Charlotte Beatties, one-on-one. Crowley was open, couldn't get it, took a hit from behind, no call. Ball against Bobby Kidd III. Crowley sets the seal, and the pass to Crowley, they're gonna call Crowley for an illegal screen. And Crowley's probably saying, well, I got hit from behind, and he didn't call anything. Rush will take it though. Osick bench side to Keenan. Mans flashes through. Late man is Clark Walter. Now Brock Haley, who started the scoring for the Rush with a pair of goals. To Mans, the pass too low, but of course it's Clark Walter who comes away with it. Haley, heavy shot, tried to go low, and it went off the inside of the right leg of Walsh, but kept it underneath him. Up ahead to Stathakis. Still looking for his first pro goal. A couple looks in transition off draws. Now inside feet, clearance! Oh, he tried a far side, short side, dip and dunk, and didn't miss by much.
He was possessed. The minute he came on the floor, he knew he was going to set that pick and roll in the net. So much speed for Marcus Claridge.
Here comes Robert Church. Three-time NLL Cup winner with this organization. Keenan plants his feet, trying to flip it inside to Mans, took a deflection, and Owen Grant will battle with Clark Walter and just kind of keep this ball loose, let the shot clock expire. 6:20 remaining in the quarter.
Another good defensive shift. Vancouver just disrupting the passers. No one there for Ryan Keenan to dish to, and the Warriors are just taking away the sticks of the off-ball players.
Keegan Ball, a little back cut, oh, the backhander didn't miss by much. Good pick and roll there on the inside off ball from Keegan Ball. Charlotte Beatties flips it up top to Cormier, tucks it. Good stick in hand by the Rush defender. And then a wraparound dunk attempt by Charlotte Beatties, and Chiliano gives them an extra chop just to say hello. There's Keegan Bell. Up down the road here in Poco, went to Tusculum. Shanks to Haley. Shanks thought about it, skips it. Keenan late in the shot clock, a little low to high. Nice save there by Walsh. Quickly up ahead he goes. And it's Reed Bowering up ahead with Cornwall. Typical Quitlam boys.
The thing about Aiden Walsh, doesn't give up a lot of rebounds. He's got a good stick. He's able to smother the ball really well, and that's taking away that bread and butter Rush second and third opportunities.
All got to stick up under the face mask. And Vancouver had too many men, and they're going to get called for it. So that's another illegal substitution call on the Vancouver Warriors. And the Rush will head back to the power play.
Because Vancouver had the ball, no penalty shot. This one's just a bench minor penalty, and the Rush will go to work on the power play where they're 1 for 2 with 2 shots on goal.
So Ryan Keenan will come and set things up here for the offense. They've given up 1 shorthanded goal already tonight. There's 6 shorthanded goals against on the season. And as Brad mentioned, 1 for 2 so far. Same 5 out there, Shanks, Church, Keenan, Mans, Walter. Shanks floats behind the net. Mans, top center. Church, off the crossbar. And up into the netting. It'll stay here with 4:48 to go. We will go to break. It's 5-4. Church in the offense will go to work on the power play when we come back from Vancouver. At the top, there's a bit of a flu bug going around the National Lacrosse League, and it's hit the Vancouver Warriors, but we all need a little help, and Karen Nickel, the medical director of the Warriors, did an excellent job getting the guys hydrated, getting them fueled up and ready to go for this game here tonight.
Yeah, every team has their unsung heroes, and Karen Nickel definitely one of those, keeping everybody hydrated and ready to go. And a couple banged up players, and you know, we've talked a lot to these Warriors the last few weeks. Teddy getting prepared for these games, and you know, they a lot of them speak to Karen Nickel. You talk to the veterans, well, how do you stay fresh in this league at 37 years old? Karen Nichols. Or you talk to Ryan Sheridan, who's ready to come off the IR pretty soon here for the Vancouver Warriors. She's done a fantastic job getting Ryan Sheridan ready to go. So it's all about the unsung heroes in this game.
And she must have done a lot of work to get Aiden Walsh ready for this game as well. He's been fantastic so far in the first half. Power play still, 1:34 here for the Rush. Shanks to Walter. Now Mans. Keenans will set the high seal. Mans will plant his feet, try to shoot short side, and Walsh will squeeze that one. Quickly up ahead, Cornwall.
He really has been dialed, and they've attacked him in a few different ways. Shots from the outside, high, low. They haven't really been able to find the hole yet in Aiden Walsh.
Claridge will give to Ball. Little ISO here for Kevin Crowley against Boudreau. Crowley swings all the way around. Claridge heads off. Shot there from Charlotte Beatties. Didn't miss much, or miss by much. But Frankie had his angles covered. And there's BK3. Shanks. Power play that'll work with another 45. Keenan again will set up his quarterback. Plays 1-2 with Zach Mans. Now Church. Double high seal. Keenan shot, shoulder save, Walsh. Good look for Keenan off the scissors. And maybe one good more look here, the man advantage. Church. Skip pass. Oh, blocked out of midair by Minsky this time. Vancouver running 3-on-2. And good job by Saskatchewan to get back in.
I was ready to break down the goal. That was going in the back of the net, but what a twig by Brett Minsky to steal that away and keep it a 5-4 game shorthanded.
Bit of a lazy pass there from the Warriors. Had a stick check, goes up into the netting. But they did enough, and they will kill off another penalty, so Cormier is going to have to sprint across the floor. And in comes Braden Lady. Keenan on his wrong side, gets the middle twister, save there, Walsh, loose ball, and Keenan picked it up. 2 shots on that power play for Saskatchewan, but to no avail. They still lead by 1. Clark Walter, the Church shot, oh, off the inside pipe. Walsh didn't know where it was, but luckily it hit the back of Subak and landed in his crease. Now Lady will bring it up. Lady, bench side, Keegan Ball. Low and flashes through the middle. Lady's gonna go for a change. Late man on is Jonathan Peshko. Here's Claridge now. Won't plant his feet and turn it loose. But Ball will, that one sailed over top. Low and quick reset shot, and a nice save by Chiliano. Quickly up ahead, knocked down by the stick of Lowen. Now can he come up with it? He can't. Messenger's there, but he's being hounded by Dilks. Hossack will settle it down with McClellan. And now the Rush offense will go to work with Mike Triola. Brock Haley looking for his hat-trick goal. Skips it to Mans. Back to Haley. All over him is Bowery. And good defense there by Reed Bowery.
The goaltender's favorite sound on the shot clock expires. That just means the Rush are kept to the absolute perimeter, not able to get a shot opportunity. Great help defense, great one-on-one defense, smothering shift by the Warriors to keep it a 1-goal game.
There is Crowley. Skips it to Charlotte Beatties with 13 on the shot clock. Big pick there by Claridge in front. Claridge dip and dunk, shoulder saved by Chiliano. Claridge just can't buy one here in the first half.
Frank goes down early, but still, those big, broad shoulders able to take up so much of the top of the net.
Last minute of play here in the first half. Charlotte Beatty swims, retreats, one-on-one with Keegan Bell. Sometimes get caught up on Keegan Bell and Keegan Ball. And there is Keegan Ball as Charlotte Beatties took a slash up under the helmet.
They used to play on the same team, those two.
Yeah, that was fun for you guys, wasn't it? Here's Austin Shanks with 30 to go. Good stick check there by Cornwall, and instantly they're going to give timeout to Vancouver, and Kurt Malofsky's like, I didn't call for it. They had a 2-on-1 going down the floor with Owen Grant and Cornwall. But I think they're going to give Vancouver a timeout anyway. Kurt Malofsky's just being Kurt Malofsky. As fire as they come.
And yeah, they're gonna They will give them the timeout. Won't be a transition goal, but they'll take it anyways. Now time to pull their goaltender, get a chance to draw something up. We talked about earlier their strength with the extra attackers 6-on-5. Well, they'll drop a 6-on-5 play here. Try to get someone free.
Look at Jimmy Quinlan. Go ahead, coach, along with Derek Keenan, but he kind of runs the show. Roam in the middle of the bench. And it's become a really cool pairing, the Derek Keenan and Jimmy Quinlan in Saskatchewan. Obviously, Quinlan, a longtime member of this franchise, and always kind of thought that he was going to be the next in line to take over the head coaching job, but having Derek Keenan there is just another safety blanket for this team.
Yeah, and I think it kind of sets them up for the future, too. Jimmy Quinlan, no doubt. Jeremy Talevi adding to that bench as well, brilliant defensive mind, but no doubt Jimmy Quinlan going to be a great head coach in this league. But the longer you can have Derek Keenan around kind of mentoring and setting that stage, the even better Jimmy will be down the line. But kind of yin and yang the pair too, right? Derek Keenan is so calm and stoic, and Jimmy Quinlan might be the most energetic and vocal head coach in the National Lacrosse League.
Came out for morning shoot-around this morning wearing a helmet but no face mask.
And the shortest shorts I've seen in a while.
He keeps it light for this team. And then it is right, the yin and yang between him and Derek Keenan. Jimmy's having fun, and Derek's just trying to get things going and on time. 6-on-5 here, Vancouver, under 30 to go. Adam Charlamides will slowly walk it out. Crowley, Ball, Peshko, Klarich, Lowen, and Charlamides. Well, waited another few more seconds before they go to the net here. 10 seconds to go. Crowley with it.
So packed in, taking away the middle of the floor.
Charlamides will take an early shot. No good look or pass available. Now they got an empty net at the other end. This one's going to sail well wide. And Kurt Malosky looks towards Charlamides, just kind of saying, what are we doing? And I'm sure they'll kind of talk it out. But a 5-4 halftime. A good opening 30 between these two.
Yeah, back and forth action. I think the Rush, Teddy, look a little bagged after last weekend. They play such a fast, up-tempo game. Haven't seen a ton of that here tonight. It hasn't been really the track meet that they've wanted. Vancouver's done a good job, though, taking away those second possessions and those things that give the Rush momentum and a chance to play their game. Vancouver's been smothering, but down by 1, and the Rush still in a position to pull away here when we open the third.
Brock Haley started the scoring with 2 goals early on for the Saskatchewan Rush, and he's down the floor with Chantel.
Brock, you've got 2 goals so far. It seems like your squad has been having some success on the right side scoring goals. What are you guys seeing from that Vancouver defense?
Oh, just, it's any other game. We're just being confident, trusting each other, and just playing our brand of lacrosse. We're not doing anything different or veering off our game. We're just playing how we played the last 10 games here, and we're rolling right now.
It's a 1-goal difference right now heading into the second half. What do you think will be the difference in that second half?
Well, it all comes down to defense. Defense wins games, and luckily we got one of the best groups in the league, and we got Frank between the pipes, so we're real fortunate.
Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chantel, and thank you to Brock. A back and forth opening 30 minutes. When we come back from Vancouver, we'll break it all down for you. It's Game 2 of NLL Friday Night Doubleheader on TSN. A lovely look overhead of downtown Vancouver. Welcome back. NLL Friday Nights on TSN, where the Rush lead the Warriors 5-4 after 30 minutes. Brad Challoner and Teddy Jenner with you, and half had a little bit of everything.
It sure did, man. Some things we've never seen in a long time. 5 years to be exact in the National Lacrosse League. We'll get to that in a second. But it all started off, Teddy, with physical defense on both sides of the floor and block shots. Like, who wants to be crowned the Soak Squad of the Year? Well, the Vancouver Warriors leading that charge right now. Everyone getting in the lane and in front of a goaltender who came into this game with a bit of a flu bug and was questionable to even start. Well, they had 10 goaltenders out there. Everyone soaking shots for the Vancouver Warriors, smothering the Saskatchewan Rush offense. They're up right now 5-4, but it could be a lot different if these guys were putting their bodies on the line each and every shift on that back end.
Yeah, they're just picking passes out of midair, getting in the way, and that's everything that Kurt Malosky wants from his defense. Now, the last time we saw 2 penalty shots in one game was January 19th, 2020, when Kevin Crowley scored the first one for the Philadelphia Wings and Kyle Matisse missed the second one. Tonight, Keegan Ball got both of them.
Now, a lot of us are saying we've never seen that before, where Kevin Crowley's like, I was there. But Keegan Ball just showing what he has in the arsenal, completely mixes it up. Here's how it started. There's a too many men penalty. That man out of the gate to the left side of your screen interferes with Marcus Clare. So you get one penalty shot for the interfering with the breakaway player with the too many men. The second one because he tackled him down and got the roughing penalty. So that gave us 2 back-to-back penalty shots. Anyone can take it. Well, the Warriors go with their best offensive player. Keegan Ball goes vertical. Patented Keegan Ball stance in the first one, robbed by Chiliano. Second time, though, what do smart players do? They mix it up, couple pump fakes, and goes far side Ched to beat Frank Chiliano. So he got one, he got the Warriors within one through the first 30 minutes.
And they are still within one. Let's have a quick look at our halftime stats. Saskatchewan obviously putting the bulk of shots toward the net, the only team that's gotten a power play. Loose balls are pretty even, and it's been Jake Naso having his way with Alex Stafkis. When we come back, Brad will let us know who he thinks are the halfway point mid-season award winners in the National Lacrosse League. The foul mouth, chirp serving Crave original comedy sensation Shorzy. Stream now, only on Crave. All right, every team is at the halfway point of the NLL season, and so are we here on TSN. So we're gonna let Brad break it all down and who he thinks are some of the award winners for the National Lacrosse League. And let's just start right out of the gate, Offensive Player of the Year.
You know, this is not spicy, but Dane Smith. He is to the NLL what Wayne Gretzky was to the NHL in the 80s, single-handedly rewriting the record books. Earlier this season, he was on pace to set the single-season point records with just assists. That's how good Dane Smith has been this season, still on pace to shatter the assist record that he holds and the points record that he holds. No one's been better with the ball in his stick this season than Dane Smith.
Well, who's going to stop Dane Smith? Who do you think has been the best defensive player so far this year?
Guy we're watching tonight and witnessing firsthand in Matt Hossack for the Saskatchewan Rush. He was lost and found, came back to this team through the expansion draft and came back a new man. He's now a vocal leader for this team, but his defense has been fantastic. He leads the league in caused turnovers. He gets low, he turns bodies away, he's physical. And part of a cool story you would be his brother Graham, 3-time winner of this award, Teddy. To see him get in there would just be a nice story for the family and the entire lacrosse community.
It would be a fun little story. Now, we've talked offense, we've talked defense. How about the guys that are running between the lines? Who's your transition player of the year?
Another guy we're watching tonight, so far tonight, OG Owen Grant. And no disrespect to the Ian McKays and Challen Rogers and Brian Coles of this world. This guy has not played a full game on offense, even a shift on offense this year, and he has 10 goals as he runs the floor so well, in addition to being a fantastic defender for the Vancouver Warriors. He's about as well-rounded as they come, and no one's done D to O as well this season as Owen Grant has.
Don't write his name in stone yet. Ryan Terefenko's making a late push. Now, finally, we got to give some love to the goalie union. Who's been the best stopper so far?
Yeah, Zach Higgins. Unfortunate night tonight in the loss that we just saw, but a reason that Ottawa was up until tonight in a postseason position was the play of Zach Higgins. Leads the league in save percentage and goals against average, and he's just fun to watch. Such an acrobatic goaltender, and really the backbone of this Ottawa Black Bears team that we got to see earlier tonight. So those are my 4 at the midway point. I can't believe we're here already, Teddy. Time's flying when you're having fun.
Well, mark it down in the books. We'll have to take a look back in a few weeks' time to see if Brad was right. Let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. 2 other games in the NLL tonight. You were watching Halifax and Ottawa here on TSN, but look at that Vegas score. Vegas coming from the clouds to drop a 12-6 victory over Colorado with a bunch of games remaining on TSN Plus over the weekend. When we come back, second half action. Can the Warriors get back in this game over the Rush, win their 5th straight? It's on TSN. We'll be back Friday, February 28th, as the Swarm take on the Black Bears, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Catch all the action on TSN and TSN Plus. It's Marvel Night, superhero night here inside the Raj. Iron Man, Spider-Man being incognito. But the Warriors and Rush are the real heroes here tonight. Second half action underway. Stafkis and Naso at the dot. And this has been a fun battle to watch between these 2 youngsters. Now, who's gonna come up away with this? Naso tried to pop it free. And it's grabbed there by Reed Bowery. Now he's in trouble, double team. Throws it to an open side, and sure hands of Ryan Dilks there to pick it up.
Both these two teams so strong at halftime adjustments. Derek Keenan and Kurt Malowski, two of the best coaches of all time. To take a look at that, recap that first half and try to do something different here in the second to take advantage.
5 seconds of the shot clock for Marcus Claridge. Heavy shot, that was blocked by a stick in front, never made it on target, and then Keegan Ball takes a couple bumps there. We mentioned kind of off the top, Vancouver will get a bye next weekend, probably a much needed one to rest some bodies. This Saskatchewan Rush team has a date with destiny on their hands. They will play the Buffalo Bandits, which could be a battle for first next week in Saskatoon. Here's Zach Mans with a head of steam on Stathakis. Skips by the net, dunk attempt! It goes in, but they're gonna say no goal in the crease for Ryan Keenan. Jimmy Quinlan quickly to the iPad.
Didn't go in cleanly. So they take a look on the bench, see if they, oh, Derek Keenan's gonna chuck the flag anyways.
So Saskatchewan will ask for a couple extra looks at this one, and we'll give them to you as well. As Ryan Keenan tried to dunk from behind the net. It did end up in the net, but they'll have to decide if it went in before he touched the ground or not.
We'll get some looks here on TSN. As the ball went behind the net to Keenan, and
Saskatchewan has challenged the no-goal ruling on the field.
let's see if the ball goes in before he lands.
I think this is a good
in the
goal,
crease. Lands in the net. You don't see that very often either. This game's had anomalies tonight. That looks about as clean as
But
you can
is
get.
it over the line? That's the thing.
The ball?
Yeah. This is going to be a tough one because, yes, it does get behind Walsh before he touches the ground, but is it actually across the line? This would be a great view from the overhead. Yeah, I think this is going to be a good goal.
I think that's a pretty good challenge by Derek Keenan and company. The stick is above goal line extended, so they're not questioning that. It's going to be about landing in the crease and ball crossing the goal line, which I think we both agree is pretty clean. We'll see if the referees can find a view that they like, and they'll concur.
And again, it's got to be conclusive enough to overturn the call on the floor.
Nice shot there by TSN crew. Haven't seen a goal in a while.
Last goal we had was the Keegan Ball penalty shot goal. 4:42 into the second quarter. Ian Garrison's already made a decision. What says you, sir?
After review, the Saskatchewan shooter leaves clean. The ball enters prior to him touching down. Therefore, the no-goal ruling is overturned to
It is a good goal.
ruling. We'll have a face-off. Please
So Ryan
reset the
Keenan
game clock.
has his first of the night, 14th of the season, and it's a 2-goal lead for the Rush.
The play on challenge, so a good flag by the Rush coaching staff, and they increased their lead to 2. Get one more look. Mans with the dish and the vertical. Keenan, who really come on strong the last few weeks to start the season, or to wrap up the midway point of the season. Started the season slow is my point. He's been getting better each and every week, and the captain leading by example for this Rush team.
Over Ryan Keenan, goal number 14. Named captain of this team back November 2023, and he has become an incredible leader for this group. Now running off the draw is Boudreau. To McClellan, shot turned aside by the right arm of Walsh. That's another timely save. That's what he's done a lot for Vancouver. Is, you know, he gives up one and then he's able to make the next save and kind of slow the momentum down on this Rush club. But a good attack there for Saskatchewan off the draw.
Yeah, you said it. And why is it important? It comes off of a face-off, it comes off of a goal. You know, if that one opens up the floodgates a little bit, now you're down by 3 and you've scored off a face-off, momentum swings. Those are the goal, or those are the saves that stop momentum from building.
Here's Keegan Ball late in the shot clock, plants his feet, takes the shot, kicked aside by Chiliano, reset to the 30 with a loose ball to Charlotte Beatties. Charlotte Beatties to Keegan Ball. Ball full tie off the Crowley screen. To Charlotte Beatties will work off the Claridge screen. Claridge wide open. Oh, a great recovery there from Messenger. Just got his stick in the hands of Claridge, who couldn't catch it clean.
Really tell that Claridge has hit another level, though. How many opportunities has he had tonight? The Warriors not only looking for him, but he's creating his own shot, getting off of picks.
shot by Keenan. That was blocked by Subak. Interior feed, a one-timer. Walsh had to be careful with that one as it came in and out of the stick of Shanks. Here's Lady across center. We'll give it to Jonathan Peshko. Peshko's had himself a pretty strong rookie season. Played in all 10 games, got 16 points. Charlin Beatties working with Claridge. Now Ball, 5 on the shot clock. Claridge way out, interior feed, can't connect. And that'll be a 30-second possession. And the Saskatchewan Rush defense really starting to turn the heat up, Brad.
Yeah, they're getting a little faster, a little bit quicker out on hands than they were in that first half. Keeping the Warriors to the perimeter, and then great recovery when they do find a man slip to the inside.
There's Clark Walter. He's got himself a power play goal on the evening. Tried to find Mans on the roll. Mans lost his footing. 8 on the shot clock. Haley skips it to Mans. Shot turned aside by the right leg of Walsh. Loose ball picked up by Jackson Subak. Quickly up ahead, he'll go to Reed Bowery.
Big loose ball by Subak. Those are the plays that the Rush were getting their second, third possessions on in their back-to-back wins last weekend.
Here comes Peyton Cormier. Give it off to Charlin Beatties. Now Crowley on the near side, split dodge around the top, plants his feet. Oh, he had the far side corner, but Giuliano got the left arm on it. Now Messenger running, hounded there by Crowley, and able to get it up ahead to Jake Boudreau. Walter comes on late. Haley will come on for Boudreau. Walter trying to get underneath. Taken down the turf by Owen Grant. Good defense there by OG. And then Grant gonna get caught up with Clark Walter. And they're gonna give possession back to Saskatchewan. So Walter dragging the big man in and taking a possession call. Shanks back to Walter. Keenan working hard to get him open. Does, but on the roll, he can't find the pass, and it'll go off the end boards right to Owen Grant, and Ryan Keenan's a little slow to get up as he took a late hit. Grant will leave it to Keegan Ball. Late man is Charlin Beatties. He's got it now. The head of steam gives it off to Claridge. One more inside to Lowe, and he gets hit as he missed the pass. That was like a double pick re-roll. Yeah, there were a couple options there for Claridge on the feed.
Really punishing the Cutters to start this second half, though, of the Rush. Anybody who gets inside for the Warriors, which is where they scored a bulk of 3 of their 4 goals, right on top of Frank Giuliano. And Cutters right now are paying the price.
Zach Mans held off the score sheet so far here tonight, in the goal column at least. He's got it now with 7 on the shot clock. Took a shot, deflected off a defender to the corner. Good job there by Subak to get his body in the lane, and both these teams have really amped up the pressure. There's always going to be a low-scoring affair between these two defensive stalwart teams. You're going to have to work a little harder on the offensive zone to get to the front of the net. Here's Charlin Beatties. Claridge cuts through the crease. He can't be the next one to catch a pass, so they just go no hands right now behind the net. Keegan Ball plants his feet, shot saves Giuliano. Loose ball picked up there by Holden Garland.
Free lane there's Boudreau. Put on the brakes. I don't know if he expected help to come, but Keegan Ball, that wide open look.
Garland gives it off to Mans, now Keenan. Watched there by Stathakis, who's getting more and more confident in the back end and getting more and more confidence from his head coach, Kurt Malowski, to keep him out there.
And he wants it. There's been times where Kurt Malowski tells Stathakis, come to the bench, and it's like, man, I want to keep playing D. Like, let me play D. You can't be a face-off, get-off guy for a Kurt Malowski lacrosse team.
Got to be able to play both ends of the floor, and Stathakis has proven that he can play on the defensive side of the ball. Interior feed, pass knocked down by another active stick. Running onto this one is Barnable. Got a man up ahead, won't force the pass, as Vancouver was quickly back out the D gate.
Slagging the speed of the Rush as we wrapped up that first half, but they found a different gear here to start the third. They're looking like the speedy Rush that we know so well.
Pass to Walters, doesn't connect. Loose ball on the near side boards with 10 on the shot clock. 3 Rush players were changing as they had a couple of D guys stuck out there. Walter with 4 on the clock will just Roll a backhander into the corner. 7:53 to go. 6-4 is your score. Ryan Keenan on the dunk from behind the net has the only goal of the night. He kept his feet clean and able to get it in before he touched the ground. Saskatchewan and Vancouver. Let's check in the upcoming schedule for the Vancouver Warriors, brought to you by HotelPlanner.com. Again, off next week before they head down to San Diego. Then a couple big home games against Toronto and Georgia and Buffalo. So big games coming up for them. For Saskatchewan, their rest of the schedule, no, Jimmy Quillen's not drinking a beer. That's on the other side of the glass. Big matchup with Buffalo next weekend. Then you look down the schedule, April 4th. That's the next time we will see them on TSN as part of the game of the week. So both these teams with some big games coming up as we step into the second half of the schedule.
Unified standings. There is not a game on either one of those two lists that you can look at and circle as the W, the way that this league has gone this season. Pretty remarkable.
Just look, you know, San Diego beat Buffalo last weekend. Vegas upsetting Colorado tonight. No game is an easy game in the NLL right now. And that's what we can all ask for. Charlotte Beatties couldn't handle it. Loose ball picked up by Hossack. He's going to have to find that one off the sideboards. He does. Charlotte Beattie tracking back with him. Hossack to Adam J. Thought about pulling the trigger, but we'll give it to Boudreau and head off. Hossack's going to stay in play. Slow numbers here for Vancouver. Tough change, scores, Shanks! And that's just a bad change by the Vancouver Warriors on a heads-up play by the Rush offense.
Opportunistic by Shanks. Credit Hossack, who legs this one back. Sorry, he's the one who legged it up. His Boudreau ended up making the feed. Looked like he was going to take it to the bench, but he got an opportunity. Take it. And Austin Shanks makes it a 3-goal lead.
So the only 2 goals here in the third quarter have come from the Saskatchewan Rush to open this thing up. It's the largest lead of the game. Vancouver led 1-0 before Saskatchewan rattled off 3 of their own. So can Vancouver find a way to get back into this one? Dilks will float it to Claridge. 2 goals from lefties, 2 goals from righties for the Warriors offense. Here's Keegan Ball. Shot, took a deflection, never made it on target cleanly. And Giuliano able to find that one in his crease. We'll flip it to Keegan Bell. Up ahead, Ryan Barnable. Mentioned last week, running free and clear of all those knee braces, and he's feeling at his best. He has since coming into the National Lacrosse League. There's Mans. Tucks it, trying to work inside. Good defense there by Lady. 8 on the shot clock here for the Rush. Triolo trying to back down Cornwall. Wanted to swim move. Skip pass on the wrong side with Shanks. That was a wide open look, but Shanks couldn't find it.
Good one-on-one defensive shift. Cornwall against Triolo. Lady on Mans to keep them at bay. The Vancouver's has to find some energy on offense here.
Beattie sprinted down the middle, was open for a split second, couldn't get the pass. Now Peshko coming around the top, gives it to Charlotte Beattie's. Good pick there from Claridge. Now Keegan Ball on the near side, working with Peshko. Peshko step back shot, low to high, didn't miss by much. Late in the 30, Claridge one more, and Lowen wasn't ready for it. The shot clock will expire. So a couple good looks there for Vancouver, but again, this defense not allowing anybody a really good clean look inside.
Yeah, they're picking, they're popping, but there's no one there. That pop, you're shooting from the outside.
And there's Robert Church with a pick and pop to the inside. Got body position on Shinato, and it's now a 4-goal game for the Rush.
It was inevitable for Bar Down Bobby to hit the back of the score sheet. And he does it here, put his team up by 4 on a nice cut. Shinato chasing, Walter feeds, and that's in and out of his stick, 5-hole in a hurry. And Robert Church, who came into this game with 60 points all time against the Warriors, adding to his totals, 8-4.
36 seconds apart between the Shanks and Church goal.
The Rush not looking like a team that played 2 games last weekend. To start this third, they have woken up.
Here comes the Vancouver offense, trying to find a spark here to end this 3-goal run of the Rush. Keegan Ball to Charlotte Beatties. Back to ball on his wrong side. Gets to the middle, can't get his hands free. Finally does, as he was hounded by 3 rush defenders, and then gets dumped to the turf as the shot clock expires. Smothering defense by Jeremy Tlevy's D group.
Yeah, much better to start this third quarter. Keegball slips away from one check, and then that wall of humanity denies.
Here's Keenan. Triolo clears through on his wrong side. Shanks thought about it. Keenan with 8 on the shot clock. Swim move past Minsky. Gets behind the net, dunk to Mans, and Walsh able to get post to post. Denies Zach Mans on the dunk. As Triolo and Owen Grant getting together, but a 3-goal run by the Rush, capped off by Shanks and Church. Have them up by 4. Machine 2018 Rush Nighthawks, Shatler and company. They win it 15-10 for the 3rd championship for this franchise. And some of the names on that team, well, they're playing in this game, Brad.
Yeah, Vancouver's picked up a bunch of them in free agency, and Midsky, Cornwall, and Dilks. Riley Lowen, 1-1 with the Rush. He's on this roster too, and a few remain on the Saskatchewan side. So the culture carriers, the guys with that pedigree. Robert Church was a UFA. Many thought he could be here in Vancouver this season, but he's showing his face to the Saskatchewan Rush. He told us this week, Teddy, that he wants to finish his career in SAS too. So saying all the right things to his fan base back home watching this one on TSN.
Riley Lowen also won a couple championships with the Rush, but he wasn't on that 2018 team. As there's some hounding defense on Charlotte Beatties, he's just seen a whole lot of Messenger and Hossig on that far side, and I do not envy him. Outside shot by Ball, and Frank Chiliano smothers that one in his crease as he made the save. 4 minutes to go here in the 3rd. Mike Messenger still has it. Gives it off to Church. Now Keenan worked the near side 2-man game with Zach Mans, but gives it to Shanks on the far side. Keenan. Good defense there by Dilks, but Keenan keeps his feet moving, and the shot just sails high over top of Aiden Walsh.
You know, that Dynasty Rush had one of the best defensive groups of all time. Tons of huge future Hall of Famers. When you talk to this current Rush group and the draft picks they brought in and what they're building now, they feel this defense is eerily similar to that Dynasty group and even more athletic, which is frightening to hear.
Delayed penalty coming up to the Saskatchewan Rush. Aiden Walsh to the bench, 6 on 5. Lowen to Cormier in the corner. Up top, Charlotte Beatties. 4 lefties out there right now for Vancouver. Charlotte Beatties, shot from Cleric, sails over top of the net, and Barnable will grab it, and the whistle will go. And I think this is going to be Bobby Kidd III heading off. So Vancouver will get their first power play of the night and a chance to cut the lead. Watch the left side of your screen.
Yeah, number 3 on right in the chops of Cormier.
So the number 3 shorthanded team in the NLL will head to work as the Rush have killed off 62% of their penalties. And unfortunately for Vancouver, they have the 13th power play in the NLL. Ball, Charlotte Beatties, back to Ball. Crowley working hard to get somebody open. Now Charlotte Beatties shot, blocked in front by Messenger. No reset, 10 on the shot clock. Crowley to Charlotte Beatties. He'll go low to low this time, and Chiliano makes a save. Loose ball, Mike Messenger. Sprints right down the pipe. Messenger, short-handed. Man off the benches. Oh, big hit there from Braden Lady. And you don't see Mike Messenger hit like that. But probably shook him like the 4.6 earthquake we had here in the West Coast.
Usually he's dropping his shoulder and just plowing out any defender who gets in his way. But young Braden Lady stands his ground. But credit this penalty kill for the Rush. They've been stout so far.
Clarence Crowley shot, trying to go far corner over the left shoulder. Chiliano again. And nice job there batting that loose ball back, but it's quickly picked up by the Rush. And it's Barnable. And he won't press the situation. He'll let his team come out and try to kill some time as there's 48 remaining on the minor to Bobby Kidd III. Clark Walter will give to Zach Mans. Triolo floating around on his wrong side here. Flashes to the middle, doesn't get the pass. As Cornwall shutting off Robert Church on the far side. 5 on the shot clock. Walter scores! And I don't know if Aiden Walsh saw it. But a short-handed marker for the Spark Plug Clark Walter.
And a juice goal here, third quarter. Clark Walter, short-handed, shot clock winding down. You see it ticking away there, 5 seconds. Just as he spins away, tucks it far side. Nice jump shot by Walter. The Spark Plug with a juice goal and a 5-goal lead.
So Clark Walter's got a power play goal and a short-handed goal here tonight. And it's a 4-goal run for the Saskatchewan Rush with 90 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
And it's a 6-1 run for the Saskatchewan Rush if you date back late stages second quarter. Last Vancouver goal was the penalty shot.
Claridge didn't want to push the situation on slow numbers. Bobby Kay the third out of the penalty box. Vancouver 0 for 1 with a man advantage. Charlene Beatties flips it to Claridge with a head of steam. Inside roll for Lowen. What a save by Giuliano. Good pick and roll game there between Claridge and Lowen, but again, Giuliano has been on fire tonight. 4 goals against. He's faced 23 shots. And girl dad strength is a real thing.
Yeah, and I think that's just the point too there, Teddy. 23 shots. Sask has put up 36. So Vancouver definitely below where they want to be at this stage. They average about 50 a night, well off that target. Credit the Rush defense.
Loose ball battle in the corner. Shot clock's going to expire as Robert Church surrounded by a couple of bodies. Nolan Grant broke his stick on the play, so he'll have to get a new twig. Up ahead, Cornwall. To Crowley. Cornwall open roll in the middle, but Crowley was going the other way. Crowley tried to go short side, punched away by Giuliano. 15 seconds, Giuliano to the bench. 6-on-5 Rush. Now 10, gotta go quick here. Keenan. Triolo with 5. Church to Clark Walter. Dump shot off the helmet of Walsh and up and out of play. Good look there for Walter as he tried to get the hat trick, but a 4-goal run, a 6-1 run since the start of the second quarter, and Saskatchewan's in complete control.
A real energetic third quarter by the Saskatchewan Rush. Stout on the defensive end, getting in lane, smothering, playing physical, keeping the Warriors at bay, and then all 4 third quarter goals the way of the Rush. Does not look like they played twice last weekend.
Do they have enough of the gas tank to see this one to the finish line? You're gonna have to come back and join us on TSN. This continues tomorrow with Page playoff action. Live from Thunder Bay, the top women's teams battle for a chance to represent the nation at the World Curling Championship. Tune in 1 Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on TSN. We talked about Jake Boudreau being a cricket guy last week. Let's find out more with Chantel.
Yeah, that's right, Teddy, because lacrosse isn't the only sport that Jake Boudreau has a passion and love for. When he was in the 7th grade, his gym teacher introduced him to cricket, and Jake fell in love with it automatically, and he ended up joining the team because that gym teacher was also the cricket head coach, and he ended up playing all through high school in the Brampton area. He ended up being the cricket team captain as well his senior year. Jake says he wishes he could still play cricket, but it's really hard to find in some areas. What he loves the most about it is the patience you have to have, because once you're out, you are out. And we also got to give some props to his mom, Renee, who found that photo for us for the broadcast tonight. Guys?
Thank you, Renee, and thank you, Chantel. Fourth quarter action. The Saskatchewan Rush are 5-0 when their opponents score first in a game. Adam Charlene-Beatties did that for Vancouver, so Saskatchewan trying to stay perfect in that category. Last year they were 1-8 when that happened. This year, 5-0, and a big reason for their success.
They're also 4-0 when leading after 3, so they've yet to choke this season. And we'll see if Jake Boudreau can lay the axe on a few Vancouver Warriors offensive players and keep this game on the right side of the line for the Rush.
Owen Grant thought about making a beeline towards the cage, but turned away by the defense of Boudreau. Now here's Claridge. Beanie's working hard, trying to flash through the middle. Now Crowley around the top. Inside roll ball, and what a save again. Frank Scigliano is in his bag here tonight. Man. Save after save.
Former junior teammates, been back a lot of years. Scigliano and Keegan Ball, both from Coquitlam, both played junior in New Westminster. And staring down each other tonight. 2 penalty shots. Highway robbery from Scigliano on ball.
Haley demands with 10 on the shot clock. Man, split dodge, one more corner. Walter turned aside by the left arm of Hayden Walsh, but he got run into by Brent Mitski. Walsh still not to his feet. Oh, what a shot by Ryan Keenan. Didn't care that Walsh was down and that Mitski was down. He just saw a wide open cage, and he absolutely blisters the near side pipe for his second.
Starts with the one off the pipe, and then there's Walsh caught by Mitski. See his legs trapped. He's caught like a large fin tuna in the net. And then Keenan says, oh, I don't care if you're out of position or not. I'm firing this one on net. And now a commanding 6-goal lead in the 4th quarter. And we're going to get a challenge on the play from Kurt Malowski.
So I'm not sure what Kurt saw, but we'll try and get a look here on the replays along with you. So Kurt Malowski just letting Ian Garrison know what he wants to challenge, and Ian will let us know what Kurt wants to challenge.
Vancouver has challenged the goal ruling on the field.
So go through your 9 steps, Mr. Garrison, and we will see if this one is going to count or not.
I want to see a look at what 9 to half or a dozen things they could be looking at here. So Walter through the crease. Does he touch the ball? Yeah, first to touch. So that might be a good challenge. Is Walter running through the crease, not able to catch that pass? As he's the first one through and gains the advantage. That ball has to go to someone else before it goes to Walter, and he ends up passing back to Keenan. So this could be a good challenge here by Kurt Malowski.
There's the flip pass from Mans to Walter. He runs through. Mans picks it up. The first guy he gives it to is Clark Walter. So you're right, Brad. This could definitely be coming back.
Not to take away from that nice snipe by Keenan to tuck that high short side in the corner. But yeah, you can't be the run through the crease, be the first to touch the ball as to gain an advantage. So we've seen a little bit of everything here as far as challenges and replays and penalty shots, and the rule book getting a sweat tonight here in Rogers Arena.
The officials are deep in their bag of knowledge of the rule book, and it does look like Ian Garrison has an official call here. Is it 10-4 or is it still 9-4?
A Saskatchewan attacker runs through the opposing team's crease. Upon a teammate picking up the ball, that player through the crease is the first to receive a pass. Therefore, he is deemed ineligible. Therefore, the goal ruling is overturned. No goal.
Again, great explanation from Ian Garrison. So take it off the board for Ryan Keenan, and it's back to 9-4.
Take another look. So watch number 9 on the left side of your screen. Runs through the crease and is the first person to catch a pass. That will deem a goal ineligible here in the National Lacrosse League. Great job by Ian Garrison, giving the fans inside Rogers Arena and on TV tonight a little education with this rule book mastery.
Now, can Vancouver use this as some sort of spark? Crowley to Charlotte Beatties. Backside Peshko was open, didn't get it. Crowley does. Charlotte Beatties with 10 on the shot clock. Flips it low and shot. Saved by Frank Scigliano.
5 is less intimidating than 6, but I think any deficit is intimidating against the Saskatchewan Rush D.
Especially when there's only 13 minutes to do it.
Now, Vancouver, not a team that's been known to go on big 5-6 goal runs this season. They're a team that likes to chip away, score a goal every 5 minutes or so throughout a game, keep things close.
Good save there by Walsh as Zach Mans finally got his hands free. Bowering will give it off to Claridge and stay in play. Bowering set a great double seal. Claridge probably could have taken that one right down the pipe. Instead, decided to plant his feet and shoot. That's one the youngster will probably have a look back at the film. And there's Keenan off the bench. Missed the far pipe. Loose ball picked up by Stathakis. Good job there by Stathakis to cause that turnover. And he'll give it off to Owen Grant. And now Marcus Claridge will have it. Charlotte Beatty's again setting the seal for Claridge. That was one thing that Kurt Milosky talked about in that game the other week. They just weren't getting to the front of the net enough. They weren't cutting the middle enough. They're trying hard, but this defense of the Rush is just keeping them to the outside, Brad.
Yeah, they started off well. Their first 3 goals in the first quarter were all within toes of the crease in front of Frank Chiliano, but the Rush have adjusted. They've got physical, and they just not let anybody near the inside of the floor. Chiliano's going to stop anything from the outside.
Inside Keenan. Oh, what a save by Aiden Walsh, denying Keenan again. Keenan trying to dump it back short side, but somehow Aiden Walsh got the left glove on it. Near side corner. Charlotte Beatty fires into ball off the bench. He's watched there by Adam J. Ball shot easily saved by Chiliano. Loose ball kicked out to Messier. Up ahead, Bobby Kidd III. Good job by Keegan Ball to backtrack. Not allow Kidd III a chance, but now Ball stuck on defense. Bowering will pick up Shanks. Church gonna work against Ball. Shanks still with it. Now he'll shoot it. Knocked down by the stick of Reed Bowering. And he finds that loose ball quickly up ahead, Charlotte Beatty's.
A good recovery by Bowering. They went straight after Keegan Ball in the 2-man game.
Lowen to Peshko to Charlotte Beatty's through a screen. Took a deflection, never made it on target. Now Peshko on the far side. Gets underneath, drives, dives, scores. They're gonna wave it off. And does Kurt Milosky want to challenge this one? He goes right to the iPad. Milosky still trying to see if he wants to challenge it. Doesn't get a good look at any replay, so he'll keep it in his pocket. And he throws it, but this might be way too late. And he's Ian Garrison looking to Zach Jones in the penalty box.
Yeah, it's not. You have 25 seconds in a play-on situation to throw the flag. Saskatchewan got a shot and a reset. So it's not one. We can't just look down at the shot clock and say there's enough time. They reset this. So we have to do the math, and I think Ian Garrison is going to return this flag.
So Garrison over Kurt Milosky. And I think Kurt knew he was just throwing it just in case. So there won't be a challenge. Let's take a look at the replay.
Given that the ruling on the field was no goal, Vancouver had 25 seconds to challenge the play on the field. They elected to do so at 32 seconds, therefore the challenge is denied. The no-goal ruling stands.
I love that description. He even tells us they took 32 seconds to throw when they had 25. So Ian Garrison,
Who's got ball?
one of the stars of the game tonight. But Peshko gets that one taken away.
And I think it was the right call by the officials on the floor. Peshko's foot did look like he stepped in the crease. So it remains a 9-4 game, but Kurt Milosky still has a challenge flag in his pocket. Penalty coming here to Vancouver, holding the stick call, as Triolo lost his twig. And Chiliano not going to make his way to the bench. The shot clock was winding down, and as Dilks touched it, we will get a penalty here coming up to Vancouver. The Rush to the power play when we come back. They're leading it by 5 and have complete control of this game. It's game 2 over NLL on TSN doubleheader from Vancouver. Attendance, and Reed Bowering not feeling very super about taking that holding the stick call.
No, not at this stage in this lacrosse game. Down by 5, fourth quarter, trying to mount a comeback. They're going to sit down in the box where this power play will go back to work tonight, Teddy, where they are 1 for 3.
So good job by this Vancouver penalty kill. They've even scored a shorthanded goal. There's a good look at Kurt Milosky just imploring his offense to get going, explaining how to shoot on Frank, one of the best technicians as a head coach in the National Lacrosse League, always trying to fire up his team and get the best out of them.
Yeah, and Frankie, who the team calls Frankie Stein sometimes, especially the way that he's playing tonight. You know, the Warriors know him very well. Kurt Malowski, the coaching staff, have seen a lot of him over the years. They should have a bit of a read, but not able to get anything done here tonight. Haven't mixed up the shots enough, hadn't got him moving enough.
Short-handed chance for OG and the Warriors. Grant thought about the backhand pass, still has it, oh my goodness! Almost caught that one on target. Somehow the loose ball goes right to Ryan Dilks, and still some time here to kill. Marcus Clarich with a head of steam.
I think they got to go for it at this stage in this game, the way the goals have been at a premium.
Inside Crowley, and again, Chiliano stepping out to challenge the shot and makes the save.
Took a bullet right in the chest. That time, they want to try to wrap it around him about hip height, so that's right at the height they want it to go, where they have to get him around the waist to the side, wrap it around the big frame of Frank Chiliano.
Here comes the Rush power play. Keenan again will quarterback the offense. Keenan, backhand flip to Mans. Shot, try to go up over the shoulder. Loose ball, rebound, what a finish by Church. He had a goal like this in Calgary last weekend, but man, on the doorstep, loose ball bounces right to him, and he's got another.
Yeah, this is great. Hand, eye in tight. This ball's coming so fast. One-handed grab, able to pull it over, tuck it short side by Walsh, and avoid falling into the crease. Silly by Robert Church sometimes.
His second of the night gives him 20 on the campaign. I mentioned one of 4 players remaining from that 28 championship team, drafted 5th overall back in 2013.
Missed 2 games early this season. Rush able to win both those games without Robert Church.
Crowley on the pick and roll, couldn't handle the pass. It's just kind of been that night for this offense here for Vancouver. Running the other way is Matt Hossick, Brad's mid-season defender of the year.
And he's looked like it tonight. He's been an eraser, especially for the Vancouver lefties. Just the 1 goal from Adam Charlambides.
Haley skips it, far side Shanks, pass picked off by Dilks. Slow numbers here for Vancouver. Dilks gonna run all the way, check that. It's Ryan Dilks down the 5 hole, and another big save by Frank Chiliano. Going the other way is Saskatchewan.
Just given that lane, the Rush went off for a change. No one decided to run with Ryan Dilks.
Dilks, a 34-year-old, still got some gas left in the tank, but unable to find the finish as Cornwall wears that one off the inside of the ankle. That one always hurts. But he's gonna stay out there. Late man is Robert Church, the latest goal scorer. Gives it off to Haley. Runs off the screen to Clark Walter. Man's lost his footing. They had the 2-man game working. The backside pass was just behind Clark Walter. Up ahead, Reed Bowering. Can Charbonneau catch up to Bowering and Charbonneau 2-on-1? Charbonneau scores! #16th of his career. And now just 3 points away from 50 in his career, but that's a big-time goal from Steph Charbonneau. An unlikely goal scorer.
Yeah, but they'll take it. Bowering does a great job here. He looks, he's got Charbonneau. Doesn't even have to take Hossick away. He just plays the inside, plays the middle. And Charbonneau stings it. He read the scouting report. He went underneath the elbow. Didn't have to look for that top shelf that Frankie just does not give up. Nothing there upstairs on the big man. Charbonneau cuts the lead to 5.
7 minutes remaining. Is there a frantic finish in store for us here tonight on TSN?
Vancouver's first goal since deep in the second quarter. Shut out the entire third. Their first goal since the penalty shot. Remember that?
Here's Charlambides. Skips it. Peshko gets his hands free, trying to go 5-hole. Chiliano with the save. He's got Messenger leaking up the floor. but instead he'll pass it off to Hasek.
33 minutes and 17 seconds of shutout lacrosse for the Rush. Thanks to our stat team. That is an incredible number for that Rush team.
Here's Austin Shanks. Turns the corner. Shot blocked. Charbonneau has it. Won't force it up the floor to Cornwall. Vancouver's got numbers here. Going Grant, deflected, and he'll get it right back. Oh, he got Boudreau on the fake back pass. Now Keegan Ball. Peshko back to Ball as the Warriors go strong right. Clear out for Ball, and he scores! That's a nice little offensive set for the Warriors. First time they scored back-to-back goals since the opening quarter. And there is some life, it's 10-6.
Let baller be baller. As they clear the middle, Crowley drags his man to the middle. And this is just an underneath look for Keegan Ball, who beats Garland on the run. Doesn't have to do too much, dives across and just pulls the stick to the far side. The stick can see more than the eyes can see. And the weapon of Keegan Ball has the Warriors within 4.
Now off the face-off, big win there from Stathakis. Loose ball from Bowering, finds Subak near side. And now Charlotte Beatties. To Claridge. Had some looks, but can't find him inside. He'll drive and dive right at Chiliano, and Frankie gives an extra. I think they're going to give Frank one here for the rough on Marcus Claridge, and Vancouver could be going to the power play, Brad.
That's a big-time drive. And Chiliano, a little bit of get out of my crease, young man. But he's going to sit for 2 and give the Warriors a big power play here. Lots of time left.
And just a second power play for Vancouver. And Mike not working there for Ian Garrison, but 2 minutes to rough.
We take a look. Yeah, we take a look at this drive by Claridge, and there it is right there. Yeah, just a bit of a, this is my crease, not yours. Makes him kiss the turf. Claridge, who's been just dying for a goal tonight after the career week in Vegas. In power play time now, Warriors are 0-for-1 with 1 shot.
Here's Charlotte Beatties, thought about it, takes it, scores! 5-hole on Chiliano. It's a 3-goal game. Hopefully you didn't change the channel. We're gonna have a fantastic finish here as Charlotte Beatties gets his second of the night.
How quickly 10-4 can turn to 10-7. Charlotte Beatties with the pump fake. Chiliano has to step one more time, and that just gives enough room for Adam Charlambides to tuck it home. And this is where face-offs become huge. Duke versus DU. Who wants it?
Stathakis wins it, pops it to himself cleanly. And around the horn they go, ends up in the stick of Jackson Subak, who's gonna try and run to space and leave it for Charlotte Beatties. Here's Claridge. Peshko far side, Keegan Ball on an ISO against Barnable. Ball to Claridge, shot bouncer, didn't miss by much. Gets his own rebound though, they'll say it's a reset. As Claridge got knocked to the turf by Messenger. Now Charlotte Beatties under some heavy duress from 3 Rush defenders, ends up in the stick of Matt Hasek.
That is a big loose ball. They give up 3 goals in a minute 57, but Messenger and Hasek, the 2 vets, get it done there.
Vancouver causes a turnover. Oh, Grant off the crossbar! And it goes up into the air. Who's going to come up with this loose ball? Boudreau's all over Ball. Cornwall's in there. He had it for a second. No, Owen Grant will come away with it. And that's a big loose ball by the Warriors. Under 4 to play. 3-goal game. Flowing around the top. We'll skip it to Ball. Here comes a pick from Peshko. Ball to Lowen. One more. Step back. Crowley just missed on the short side. And this one's going to bounce towards center. And Vancouver We'll get called for over and back, and when we come back with 3:34 remaining, the Warriors are on a 2-minute goal run. They're back in this game, and they trail by 3. For the assist of the game, brought to you by Eero, and we'll head back to this just tasty dish back in the 3rd.
Yeah, the cricket master, Jake Boudreau, with the chuck down to Shanks. Good awareness as they caught the Warriors on a sloppy change. Lobs it up the floor. Shanks has 2 on the night. The Rush are up by 3 in absolute crunch time here. The Warriors trying to mount the comeback.
It was 9-4 when Ryan Keenan scored a minute 14 into the quarter, but Kurt Malosky challenged it. Robert Church would score 5 minutes later to make it 10-4, but Vancouver's gone on a 3-goal run to get themselves back within 3, and a chance to really push this game into deep waters. But their defense needs a couple stops. Triolo couldn't find that pass off the sideboards. Spinning through a double team. Triolo working hard in the front of the net, finally dispossessed by the stick check of Minsky. Up ahead, Owen Grant. Good job by Saskatchewan to get guys off the floor early, so no transition chance for the Warriors.
And to take that possession deep into the shot clock, even though they were in trouble, Triolo able to rag a couple more seconds to kill some precious time.
Near side, Charlin Beatties, shot pass actually to Claridge behind the net. Had his man hung up. Claridge can't get his shot off. 7 on the shot clock. Now he does, hit the back of the net. Off the end board, so no reset. And then a smart play there by Boudreau, just to keep that ball loose and get the shot clock whistle. Oh, and there's a turnover. Sloppy pass by Adam J. Owen Grant, does he have one in? A twister just put it off the short side. And then a heavy hit knocked Dilks to the turf.
But a possession nonetheless, and a chance. Oh, and an interference called off ball in the offensive zone. That is a tough break for Vancouver.
And that was a bit of a retaliation as Jay had knocked down Dilks and got no call. So when Dilks got up, just kind of put the shoulder into Jay, who went down easily, but right in front of the official. 2 minutes to go here in regulation. Rush up by 3, trying to win their 5th in a row and take over first place, I believe, in the NLL. But Buffalo will play tomorrow night in San Diego.
It's already the 2nd longest winning streak in the league so far this season. Longest active winning streak.
Here's Shanks. Now Keenan on the far side with 15 on the shot clock. Rush doing a great job using a full 30 here. Shanks, tiptoes, save Walsh. And now we got to keep an eye on Aiden Walsh, and Kurt Malosky is going to pull his young goaltender. Bowering gives it off to Charlin Beatties, and we'll have to hurry off. 6 on 5 for the Warriors, 15 on the shot clock. Keegan Ball. Claridge seals down, skip past to Peyton Cormier, and he couldn't find the handle. Picks up the loose ball off the sideboards, though. 5 on the shot clock. Cormier from deep will let it go. Oh, it stuck through the 5-hole. But Holden Garland was there to clean up the garbage.
Yeah, that was a good shot, a good pressure. I thought Cormier might cough it up, but he's able to get out of that pressure as a young man. Get a shot off Warriors ball.
And they'll call 4 seconds on Chiliano in his crease, so Warriors will get possession all the way down here in the offensive zone and bring Aiden Walsh with under a minute to go. Buckle up. Could be in for a great finish here, but Vancouver needs one at least. Ball, quick shot, took a deflection up and out of play. Fresh 30 here for Vancouver. Charlin Beatties to Lowen and right back. Hossack way out on Charlin Beatties. Inside to Keegan Ball, shot saved by the left arm of Chiliano, and he squeezed the elbow to the body. He's gonna wait for a whistle here.
Ball's gonna have nightmares of Frankenstein tonight. He scored 2, but he could have had about 8. All the chances against Frank Chiliano, who's absolutely shut the door here.
I'm not a math major, so I might have said Saskatchewan would take over first with the win here. I think Buffalo would still have the better winning percentage, but they would be the first team to 9 wins as Zach Bands tried to slice to the middle. Good stick check there by Minsky. 20 seconds to go, and Kurt Malosky will use his timeout.
I'll give you a day, Teddy, because if Buffalo loses tomorrow in San Diego, then the Rush would be in first place.
True. Just getting a little ahead of myself.
What a rematch that's going to be.
Yeah, That's going to be an unbelievable game. You can watch that on TSN Plus. It'll be Cooper Perkins, Jake Elliott with the call down in Pechanga. But we still got 18.3 to go to wrap this one up. Sask with a win would be at an 810 winning percentage, and Buffalo would still be at 875. So pick your poison. Might be a little too much to ask for this Vancouver offense to score 3 goals in 19 seconds, but we've already seen 2 penalty shots tonight, so what else are we in store for?
It's been a wild one. That was a real turning point in this game, something we haven't seen in 5 years here in the National Lacrosse League.
So Kurt Malosky will trot out Marcus Klarich, Adam Charlamides, Riley Lowen, Keegan Ball, Kevin Crowley, and Jonathan Peshko. Frank Chiliano will make his way between the pipes. It'll be Boudreau, Hossack, Messenger, Garland, and Adam Jay manning the floor in front of him. But they're going to have to go quick, and they're going to have to be efficient. All it's really going to take here is one save from Chiliano, and it should pretty much do it.
We saw their 6-on-5 defense earlier. All those 5 guys smothered in front of the crease of Frank Chiliano right now, taking away cutters and or blocking shots.
Extended pressure here from the rush. Clarence shot right off the face mask of Chiliano. Does he want the empty netter? He does. Chiliano for the goal. Oh, and he just missed the top corner. But with 5 seconds left, Crowley was going after Boudreau. And I think we got penalties coming. And I think it's only going to be to Crowley. And maybe 2 penalties here? As both Charlamides and Crowley are walking towards the bench.
5-on-3, green ball.
So an illegal cross-check and interference, I believe, were the calls from the official, whose mic's still not working. Oh, goaltender interference was the first one, and illegal cross-check was the second one. But with 2.4 remaining, the Rush are going to improve to 9-2, win their 5th game in a row, move to 6-0 when their opponents score first, and they remain the hottest team in the NLL.
5 straight, and remarkable when you get back in that time machine again. Midway through the season last year, they were 4-6 and outside of the playoffs. This year, 9-2, and in the crosshairs of first place in the National Lacrosse League. What an offseason, what a year can do for a franchise as they mature. Their defense, well-rounded, fast and athletic. Their offense, deep as the Marianas Trench. And they get it done here tonight against the Vancouver Warriors.
Frank Chiliano was absolutely fantastic tonight. He's been so good since coming back into this lineup. 3 straight wins. He's only given up, what, 30 goals in 3 games or something like that. He's just been phenomenal for the Saskatchewan Rush team.
Got that new dad glow. And just a lot of different kind of saves tonight for Frank Chiliano. Out to challenge shooters, taking away top shelf, taking away skip passes across the zone, and in Keegan Ball's grill all night long. Frank Chiliano, my first star of the game.
He will be our first star as well, as Frank and Kurt have some words in the handshake line. But it was a back and forth affair early on before the Rush pulled away in the 3rd.
Now Frank Chiliano now 9-4 all time against the Vancouver Warriors. So he comes out to play against this squad. It was a 1-goal game in the 3rd quarter, but all Rush in the 2nd half as they finally got into their game plan. I think the Warriors did a good job of slowing them down and kind of controlling the pace in the 1st half of this game. But then the Rush found that energy in the 2nd.
32 saves on the night for Frank Chiliano. He's down the floor with Chantel.
Frank, you guys get another big road victory, 5 straight wins in a row. This team is feeling it. Talk about the confidence right now that you guys are playing with.
Yeah, we're a confident group, and I think that starts with our preparation and our coaching during the week, right? I think, you know, we stick to the game plan, and the results are showing for us right now, so we're going to keep rolling with it.
Listen, ever since you became a father, you've been playing lights out. Today you were robbing dudes like Ryan Dilkson, Keegan Ball. You're feeling it right now. Talk to me a little bit about how you're playing.
Yeah, personally, I don't think it's just myself. If you look at my defense, we're doing a lot of the right things right. We're getting in front of the ball, and I'm not even having to save all the shots. They're getting in front of it for me. So, you know, it's a group effort. This is a team sport. You know, I benefit from their successes as well.
Congrats on the win.
Thank you very much, Chantel.
Teddy, Brad?
Thank you, Chantel. And, you know, Frank's right. He does a lot of the work, but it's those guys in front of him that are soaking shots, getting sticks in lanes, that make his job a little easier.
Yeah, he saw less than 40 tonight, and Vancouver's averaging upwards of 50. A good team will put 50, 55 shots on net against a team every night, and they quieted Vancouver to 39. So pretty remarkable defensive performance. And then when they did get beat, it was Frank Scigliano, Frankie Stein, and the Rush. Teddy, in these last few games on this 5-game winning streak, winning high-scoring blowout games, winning low-scoring slugfest, and a sign of a good team is winning games in different ways, and the Rush have definitely done that over this 5-game win streak.
Next week on the NLL on TSN, it is going to be the Georgia Swarm taking on the Ottawa Black Bears as Lyle Thompson and company will take on Jeff Teat and Zach Higgins. You can watch that game from Ottawa, 7 Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on TSN and TSN+. It was a frantic start, a little slow to start, but once these two teams got it going, it was a track meet back and forth, but at the end of the day, it was a huge 4-goal run in the third quarter that opened things up for the Rush, and then Frank Scigliano and the Rush defense absolutely shut the door. They've got a massive game against the 2-time champ Buffalo Bandits next weekend, and it will most likely be for first place. For Chantel, for Brad, and for myself and our entire TSN crew, thanks for watching. Good night from Vancouver.